podcast. I'm Minute, and he's last because he's a loser.
Thanks, Tigger.
It's a call out. I'm just joking. Drew is a great pal of mine. We're hanging out here in the studio. You see, it's not going to be a full recording because Drew was very late. He forgot to
eat lunch.
Find bread. He couldn't find any bread. Sorry, everybody. I'm back. There was a pause, but his editing will be so good. Or we'll put a commercial in there. I had to check to see if we had the studio reserved, but then I broke the calendar that is used to reserve the studio, so they can't tell anymore. There's no proof. I threw it away. Anyway, we're back. I was just talking to Drew about my my certification for being a friend and how he didn't meet it.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about what your requirements for
my requirements,
being a friend are?
So my requirements is, just already kind of liking the person as a person.
Sure.
Do
I meet that one or no?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Another thing is just kind of hanging out. There's kind of just, the general stuff you would think of. But one rule that people don't really get is we have to do something outside of work / school. Yeah. So like, outside of required things we have to do.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that.
No, we really haven't.
No, we've recorded this podcast and we do some required stuff. So we've had a conversation about this, Drew. You can't call me out like this. We're not children. We're adults. I'm older than Drew. Drew's the baby out of the group. He's also the shorter one.
That's true.
So that's why they call him Big Timmy. Because it's a joke because he's not very big. He's a short guy.
Yep.
Anyway, so break ended, and that's why, besides Drew being late because he had no bread, I'm not really prepared today for anything. So it's gonna be kind of chiller, kind of like the Sick and Tired podcast. Remember that one?
Yep. First episode, technically second episode.
We still haven't recorded the first episode, so we're waiting for a name. Anyway, we're kind of just hanging out. Not a lot of blankets up in the studio to absorb sound, so it'll be a little echoey. We haven't really prepared anything, so I was just going to ask you about break. How was it? How was your 2 week?
It was pretty good.
We
went to Orlando for a
football
game.
A football game?
Yeah.
I'll never get it. And tell me, Drew, how'd that go? How was the football game?
It was subpar at best. They did not do very well.
That's what I thought.
The team that I was cheering for.
Did you have fun, though?
Yeah, it was fun. Not the game, but we went to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Universal, and those were fun.
What'd you do?
We went to the new Galaxy's Edge part in Disney, and then at Universal we went to the Harry Potter stuff. It was all very cool.
In case you haven't noticed, guys, Drew's personality is Star Wars in politics. That's kind of him.
Politics. I wouldn't say politics is really part of my personality. I understand.
That was more of a joke.
But
because Drew's more of he's out of the two of us, he's more political. I don't like politics. And Drew follows the news, so he's the political one. If you have any politics questions, we ever get a candidate in here, bring in old Woodrow Wilson. He comes in here. Drew would be interviewing him. I would be sleeping, maybe eating a burrito, with all the money he would have to pay us to get on our show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty fun. Did you get any souvenirs?
Yeah, I got a lightsaber from the episode 6. That was Luke's from episode 6.
I thought he wasn't in episode 6. That's the one I've seen. Wait, no, it's not. I've seen episode
7.
7? Have I seen 7?
Yeah, that's the one that came out in 2015.
I've seen one Star Wars movie, and it's 7. And guess what, guys? Spoiler alert: Chewbacca doesn't die.
Wow.
Oops! You're gonna be waiting the whole movie for Chewbacca's not death. Oh, I've also seen Rogue One.
Rogue One. I like that one. That one's a fun movie.
I saw that one with a pal of mine, a good old friend, Drew. You know what? I consider him a pretty good friend,
Who is it?
even though we haven't talked in a long time. It's just a guy. You don't know him.
Just a dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he one of your middle school friends?
Drew, we both know I don't have any friends from middle school.
What?
That's hard. I can't believe you did this to me. Just kidding. I do have a few friends from middle school. No, he was a guy I knew from high school. We're paired up through a high school program thing, and you know what? We're pretty good pals.
That makes sense.
I'm very hesitant to call people my friends, even if they meet the requirement, because then if they do something bad, I'll be sad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're pretty good pals.
Pals.
Not me and you. I'm talking about me and the other guy who saw
I
Rogue One.
know.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry. So, you celebrate Christmas, right? You like presents. Happy
Yes.
holidays.
Yes.
Um,
Happy holidays.
you get any good presents?
I got a Tantive 4 Lego, which was cool.
Yeah. Well, what's that? What's a Tanta 4?
Tantive 4 is a ship from Star Wars. It's the one
Wow.
at the beginning of episode 4
Wow.
that's getting shot at by
Wow.
the Star Destroyer.
Look at this nerd. I'm just kidding. Drew's a pal, so I won't call him a nerd.
Star Wars is like one of the few things that's like it's
It's your passion.
it's not even like nerdy to like it. It's
I know, it's
so
weird.
mainstream.
It's kind of sad that it's not nerdy anymore.
Mm-hmm. I think where I am at in my mild obsession with Star Wars, that's where it becomes nerdy. But
Yeah.
then
You know.
if you just kind of you're like, oh yeah, I watched the movie.
If you watch the TV show as an adult, you're a nerd.
yeah,
If you watch, if you read the comics as an adult or as a child, you're a nerd. It's a call out post.
mm-hmm.
You nerd. No, okay, that's fair. But a lot of people, I don't know, they're kind of jumping off the Star Wars train. You know, they don't like how it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's run out of gas.
Yep.
That's a joke. You get my joke? I haven't seen that movie, but apparently there's a movie where the plot is they run out of gas.
Yeah. Episode 8. That one's.
Is it Palpatine? Oh, can we say this, or is it a
Do
spoiler?
we care about spoiler? Well, I mean, it's in the trailer, so.
Yeah, I saw that. So
And
is he like a ghost?
Literally the beginning of the movie. No. So Palpatine.
He survived?
In episode 6, Vader throws.
Spoiler alert!
This is spoilers.
Skip to this time. Do do do, and then that's why we put a time in there.
Okay, so.
Maybe not.
And that's when we stop talking about.
Or
Star
you can
Wars.
just leave. Or you can just leave.
Yeah.
Because this is a quick, short one. It's not a real episode podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened to
But in
Palpatine? Who is
episode
this guy?
6, what's his face?
Darth Vader, yeah.
Throws
Jinx.
Palpatine off of the.
Death Star.
It's a Death Star. He just throws him into a hole on the Death Star, and then Palpatine explodes. But then in episode 9, he is like Jesus, I guess, and reborn. So.
Wow. Way to make this political, Drew. The political one, everybody.
But yeah, no, and so then he's just back, and he wants. The plot is very confusing at the end because.
Well, that's the last
Palpatine-
movie too, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
And so they end on a weird note.
Yeah.
You think they're going to make another one?
Yes, they are supposed to make a new
Trilogy?
trilogy.
Seriously?
But it's not the mainline trilogy.
I think I
That's
could get into a
centered
new
around that.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Because,
so
like,
how the Star Wars timeline works is that there's
The prequels.
Republic. There's the prequels and like the
there's
Clone
the
Wars
normal
series.
one.
That's like the Republic era, right?
Okay.
That's the era of like the Civil War between the Separatists and the Republic. And then there's
Wow,
kind of this,
way to make this political, Drew.
Okay. And then there's a little middle area between the prequels and the original trilogy, and that is where Solo, Rogue One, Star Wars Rebels all take place.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's the original trilogy. After that, you have like the Battlefront 2 campaign, and then
Is that canon?
yeah, it's
Okay.
canon. I think the theory behind it is a really cool like that campaign. It has an interesting like idea behind it, but it's just kind of a boring campaign. It's basically like a Call of Duty campaign, like.
Okay.
Call of
Yes.
Duty.
Yes. Move
So
on.
then, and then there's this little middle area where the First Order is created, and then Episode 7 and the sequels, right? So then, this is the mainline campaign, but then there's a time before this that's there was the Old Republic game that I think it's an MMO back in the early 2000s.
Oh, dude, I think I know about that one.
Yeah. So what they're wanting to
I think I
do.
watched a video on that.
Yeah. So that's the Old Republic. They want to. The new series I've heard takes place during that old when the
Yeah.
MMO game, which is no longer canon, would happen.
So, where in the timeline is the spot where Chewbacca gets crushed by a moon? It's a comic. It's a comic book. You heard about that?
No, I haven't.
So Chewbacca gets crushed by a moon. Apparently, I don't know. That's something this guy at my D&D complains about. Anyway, guys, if you were wondering, the D&D segment for this has been replaced with Star Wars. So if you like it, I don't know, do something.
We're just talking about.
Tell us
stuff.
about it, and we'll just have a Star Wars segment, and I can sleep through it every time.
And then the Mandalorian happens in that middle section between the original trilogy and the sequels.
It was after Baby Yoda died.
Baby Yoda is. I have mixed feelings on Baby Yoda because the internet tells me I can't like Baby Yoda, but then I
Why can't you like Baby Yoda?
I don't know. That's just what the internet says. They're like, you're not allowed to like Baby Yoda. You liked him for a week, but now he's evil, and so
He ate a frog.
yeah.
That frog had children. Little tadpole babies. Anyway, moving on. It's Christmas break, everybody. That was Drew's break,
Yeah,
apparently.
it was just Star Wars.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, we saw episode 9 actually that Saturday.
And then
or Sunday
did you
after.
cry because it was over?
No.
Were you happy because what's the thing? Don't cry because it's over. Be glad because you experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it happened.
Yeah. Were you glad because it happened?
And
Or did you want Palpatine to never come back?
honestly, a lot
Do
of
it.
people think the movie was really stupid.
Do it.
And it is. It's not like a good movie, but it's kind of like Jurassic World for me.
Jurassic World, I thought it was okay. I liked Jurassic
Like the
World.
plot is a little confusing, not great, but like.
But there's
you
a
know,
dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Palpatine shoots a huge. Is this a spoiler? Do you care?
I don't.
So there's this huge fleet, right? Have you seen any of the trailers for
Why
it?
are we back on Star Wars?
I don't know.
Drew, I know you love it, but we got to move on.
1 second, I'm just gonna say one thing. So you know have you seen any of the trailers?
I saw the one where it was like, I'm Palpatine.
Yeah, so they had that huge fleet there, right?
Okay.
So that was a fleet that Palpatine had been building up after he died, right?
Yeah.
And so all of them have like Death Star cannons on the bottom of them, like planet killer cannons for some reason. But then they bring in a good guy fleet to destroy the fleet, and then Palpatine says, "I will kill your friends."
Do it.
And he shoots, and then he just shoots a giant bolt of lightning up into the sky and takes out all of the ships until Rey's like, "No,
It's a trap."
And then all this Jedi stuff comes in, and they're like, "You have all of the Jedi inside of you," and then it's just.
What happened to Luke Skywalker?
He died in episode 8.
What?
Yeah.
Spoilers! What? No, Mark Hamill was pretty cool. I like that
He
guy.
came back as a Force ghost.
He
in
plays the
episode 9
Joker.
now.
He plays the Joker.
He does.
I'm the Joker. You want to know how I got these scars? Anyway, we're done with Star Wars.
Okay.
Back onto the topic of what we did over break. So, Drew, you got a question to ask me, Drew?
What? How was your break?
Yay! Drew did it!
Yay!
I visited my grandma, and then that's the only thing I really did besides Christmas. So we went to the mall after Christmas to go to the Bath and Body Works sale.
Yep.
Because my mom's into that. I mean, why would I go anywhere with my mother? She's so old because I'm such an adult. So she's got gray hair and stuff because I'm so old and professional. Anyway, so I went with my mother and my sister after Christmas. I think it makes more sense if you say after Christmas because the family's already together. Anyway, we went to the mall. You know, my sister's birthday is coming up. That has nothing really to do with it, but we're kind of looking at Bath and Body Works and sales and stuff. It's my youngest sister, by the way.
Yep.
So my mom's doing that. I mean, Bath and Body Works was probably the most packed I've ever seen it. I mean, middle-aged women from wall to wall, always trying to get all the soap. You know, and it's a mall, Bath and Body Works. It's not like big. It's kind of small. Soap, wood floors and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so they're doing that. And so my mom's like, okay, go around the mall. And so I asked my sister, you want to play ping pong? She's like, yeah. And then she walks directly away from where you would play ping pong because there's a little ping pong area.
Wait, that's a freshman sister, right?
No. This is my youngest sister.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's like in 6th grade.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. She's like, no, I don't. And later, I find out, yeah, she did want to play ping pong. She just didn't think it was back there. That's an interesting story for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're walking around. They have kiosks, and we have this kiosk in the mall that's like loot box. Or so you would open, so you could buy a box and you open it and have a bunch of like themed merchandise depending on the box, from like Comic-Cons and stuff, and just rare stuff. Yeah. So they had your Cuphead, your Portal, your Gears of War, and you see it as you go by. Okay, I was walking around. Eventually, my mom finished, and so I told her there was a sale at like Go Games, the Go Games kiosk, which is kind of just down the way from the loot box one. And it has like board games and calendars. And we had to get my grandma, who is super old because I'm an adult and very old myself, a calendar. You look tired, Drew. Do you not like my calendar story?
No, I'm paying attention.
Let me fast forward this. Anyway, my mom points out there's a 60% off sale on the loot boxes, and so I was like, you know what? Let me look at them. I saw this big canvas one that said Top Secret on the bottom shelf because other ones have like pictures of Portal or Rick and Morty things, so you know what they're themed against. This one is just Top Secret, $100, pretty big, and so I take it up and I'm gonna buy it. I got $40 for Christmas. I'll buy this, because it's exactly what I got. Then my mom, out of nowhere, when I purchased it, she's like, I'll pay for half of it. Happy birthday. And I was like, well, my birthday is in like 3 months. So, well, it's far away.
Yeah.
But anyway, we purchase it, and we take it home. Or I take it home. I pay her, because I didn't have money on me. And I unbox it. And you know what's inside, Drew?
What's inside?
And you know what? This is the biggest haha of all time. A giant plush Death Star. Yep, we're back on the topic of Star Wars, everybody. We're back to Star Wars. It's a giant plush, like this big. Like, I know you guys at home can't see it, but it's like, a foot by a foot. It was like a good percent of the box. And you would press a button and it would say, charging up the laser, or some quote from Star Wars. And then you press it again, and then the little LED where the cannon would be lights up and goes, yeah, I'm shooting. I don't know. I just couldn't help but think of you when I saw it, because that's all you talk about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's not the only thing in there, because that wouldn't be worth $100.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
What else was in there?
Oh, so, just a bunch of themed stuff. It was from 2017, the box. And you got a lot of, like, Doctor Who, like, bracelets, because and some Sherlock stuff. You know, just kind of like,
Mm.
because that's kind of what fandoms are into on the internet, or at least was like heavily into. A lot of people were into Doctor Who. A lot of people were into Sherlock, which I like I like the shows, but I wasn't one of those huge fans. I'm not a huge fan of anything. But there was like a Predator. You know what the Predator looks like without
Yeah.
his mask?
Sure.
He's got that jaw, but it's a business card holder,
Oh.
so you put it in there.
That's good.
There was like a zombie egg thing, so you would like, you know, it was like a little egg cup, so you put an egg in it, but then it came with like a shovel and different little like zombie survival cookie cutter things, so you do it in toast. But you use the shovel to crack open the egg like you're cracking open a zombie skull, and you'd eat it out of there. There was a thing like there's a mug that says, "Have you seen this man?" And it was a guy that they thought was missing, but he really just wanted to be alone. What else? Oh, there was a costume thing like you would get at like a Halloween store,
Okay.
and it was a money vest. You know, those classic little money vests with yellow inside.
Yeah, I think so.
And it fits pretty okay. So, you know, money. That was pretty fun.
Bring that in one day. Just.
What up, dogs? There was some books. There was a Simpson book. You know,
Cool.
other just kind of interesting stuff on its own. Some Beetlejuice things. You know, just fandom stuff, and I thought it was pretty good. Definitely, probably worth more than $100.
Yeah.
But I paid $40 for it, so I think that Star Wars plush is like even more. And it's just gonna rot in my room because who likes Star Wars? Am I right, guys? All this stuff will probably just sit in my room,
That's
and you know it.
true.
I mean, I would give it to my friend, but I have no friends that like Star Wars, so isn't that sad, Drew?
Yeah, it is sad.
Anyway, besides that, had a pretty good break. Got some Christmas presents. Visited my grandma, some of my uncles and aunt, my uncle and aunt that live there in my grandma's town. We have to drive a bit to get to Grandma Land. What else? I finally beat Mario and Rabbids for the Switch. I've had that for years, and I finally just buckled down and beat it. Pretty fun.
I think I remember seeing like the announcement of that game back when it was.
You watched the E3? You watch
Yeah.
E3? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big announcement. People were kind of like, why Rabbids? Everyone hates Rabbids because they're annoying and screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. The game, they have no screaming. No Rabbids scream at all.
That's nice.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. I liked it. Anyway, now, on to the movie. So even though this is kind of promptu, I have a movie that we're going to talk about that no one really knows about. Okay, so I actually saw this one on TV while I was hanging out at my grandma's because she has cable or TV still.
Yeah.
So this one's actually quite recent, but I feel like it fits pretty well. I saw the ending of this, I guess. There was one I watched. Oh, you know what? That one I watched Lego Ninjago, the movie, throughout the whole way. The one that you know how they were doing the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie. I watched that one throughout, but that's not the one we're talking about. We're talking about this one's pretty recent, so you actually might know this one. You're gonna guess it. It's a children's movie for families.
All right.
Features animals, anthropomorphic animals, and they sing.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
This sounds familiar, but
Well, that's probably because it's kind of generic, but I liked this movie. I watched it. What year did it come out in?
yeah, that might help me narrow it.
I watched it when it came out in theaters with my grandma, 2016. Yeah.
2016.
And then
Singing animals.
I think it holds up pretty well.
Hmm.
It's got what is it? Seth MacFarlane? Is his name Seth?
Seth MacFarlane?
No, what is his name? MacFarlane. He wrote Family Guy.
Seth MacFarlane.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
Or is it? Oh yeah, it's Seth. Good.
Yeah.
It's got him in it. And he's the only real guy I remember because, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I remember his name.
I mean, he's probably one of the more famous people.
It's a one-worded name. That's one word. I've said that word in the past.
Oh, is it Sing?
It's Sing, yes.
Oh
The
my
first
God.
one Drew knows, guys. Sing.
Yeah, I've seen that movie too.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good, pretty good kids movie, I thought.
It's about a koala, and he wants to save his leader, so he puts on a singing competition.
Is that one done by Illumination too?
I don't know. I think so. That sounds like something they would do.
Yeah.
Illumination and Universal. So yeah.
Scarlett Johansson was in that one. So was
The girl who plays the My Little Pony.
what?
Yeah. What's her name? Oh, this is embarrassing because I usually know it. 'Cause she plays a lot of cartoon characters. Timmy Turner and... Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you're like Seth MacFarlane and some lady who plays somebody in
My Little
My
Pony.
Little Pony.
Yeah.
Those are the two you remember.
Yeah, she's not even a named
Scarlett
character.
Johansson.
She's not even a main character. She's like the person that like
Not
betrays Scarlett Johansson.
you
Yeah.
know? Not somebody who's like legitimately famous.
Was
Just-
Scarlett Johansson the porcupine?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think she's the person that steals the porcupine's girl or boyfriend.
Yo, let's face it, that probably made some people turn into like furries, along with like what's the one movie?
Cut it, Drew.
Zootopia.
Zootopia. Drew, that's not appropriate. Come on.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, probably. It's no worse than Animal Jam. Anyway, I don't know. So you remember the plot of the movie?
Yeah.
How well do you remember the movie? This might be too well remembered to be on the show.
I just basically remember that there's like 5 main characters. The
1,
guy
2,
hosts
3,
a-
4, 5. Yeah, no, there's 6. Sorry,
6?
you're wrong.
There's like 5 people who
I'd like to
sing,
say
though,
6 and a
right?
half.
There's
Yeah.
like 5 who sing though, right?
Yeah, there's 5 who sing.
Okay, yeah. And then there's the guy who
And then,
directed
and
it.
then there's the koala.
Yep. And so then
Then there's the koala's friend who's like an alpaca.
I don't remember
Or a
everything,
sheep.
but the koala guy, isn't he living? He like lives with like his brother or something or his sister.
No, he lives alone. That's the alpaca. The alpaca lives with his
Oh,
parents.
yeah. And he's like, he's like a rich kid.
Don't spoil the movie, Drew. You can't just tell the whole plot right now, because people might want to watch this.
That's true.
But I think we spoiled movies in the past. But this
definitely
one's pretty new, so it's on Netflix. I've watched it a few times. I think it's pretty good, and they have like different. Everyone has their own plot, kind of, but I feel like they're all given enough time. It's
Yeah.
balanced well, unlike other movies where it's unbalanced and it
Yeah.
feels like nobody gets enough time. I feel like all the plots kind of work together enough.
Somehow, the way you're describing it, like the character development in this movie is somehow better than the 8th Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
thank you
kinda
for bringing
sad.
it back to Star Wars.
You're
This is the
welcome.
Star Wars episode.
It really is.
I'm Star and he's Wars, huh? Well, actually, okay, so there's 6 singers. I forgot about the mouse. He's small. I don't think he's on the poster. Oh, no, he is. He's on a ladder. The mouse, but he's kind of the bad guy, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But it leaves it open to if he died or not.
I
Anyway.
basically just remember the ending, and it's like a big show or
Hey!
something.
Spoilers.
That's not a spoiler.
Well, okay. I don't know. I liked the movie. How much is it rated? We've talked about how much these are rated so far. It's rated 7.1 on IMDb, 72 on Rotten Tomatoes, and 3 out of 5 on Common Sense Media. So it's above average.
Yep.
I would show it to my children, but I hate children. We've talked about this.
Yep, we have.
I'm being sarcastic. It's nice. It's nice to talk about one you kind of know, especially on kind of this improv thrown together one. But
I was telling one of my friends about your puppet show that you're doing for one of
Ooh.
your classes.
Yeah.
And I was.
does he love it?
he thought, like, I was explaining it, and at first he was like, "Well, I see you're doing a puppet show, right?"
Yeah.
But then as I got into it, he realized more and more. It's like, okay, yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
It has your fingerprint on it.
For you guys that don't know, and Drew's kind of interrupting our movie segment, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
works.
Sorry.
I'm making a puppet show. I have to make the own puppets. It's for my theater class. I mean, who would be taking a class? We are grown adults. But
I mean, obviously, you're probably taking it at the community college, right?
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
community college, or maybe I'm at real
Yes.
college at Harvard. Here we are at Harvard. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get in trouble for saying we're at Harvard. No, we're not. Anyway, I don't know. The movie was nice. My puppet show was nice. Maybe we'll talk about the puppet show in the future. I'll tell you how it goes.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should talk about the puppet. We should read the script,
Oh, we can
or
kinda
like
read
give
out
a
loud.
synopsis of the script, like after.
I wouldn't mind a read through of the script. We get some more people in here to read everyone.
Yeah, we have to. I don't even know. I was thinking about what the voice of Lolly could be, and I got like, that fairy from Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, Abby.
Yeah.
Abby. Her name's Abby.
And
For the record, guys, Lolly is named after a lollipop.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
She's a child.
and then
Actually, that doesn't clarify it very better.
I assume that voice would tend to be like more similar to that. It's like, oh my gosh, hey guys.
Hey everybody, I'm Lolly. Anyway, back to Sing. Stay on topic. This is supposed to be a short.
Yeah, we're into 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a short podcast.
We'll probably cut a bunch of that. So
Yeah. For the record, I liked Sing. It's not my favorite movie, and I wouldn't watch it. Well, I would watch it right now because I'm kind of bored. It's a nice, heartwarming movie. I don't really like in any movie. My worst parts are the part where it feels like, the character has betrayed all the other characters. They have that in Ants. Spoiler alert for Ants, but I hate that movie. The part where people are just like, they realize, oh, you betrayed us, main character, and you have the feeling of like, oh, I don't know, it makes me feel dirty, and there is a part of that in the movie where there are, spoiler, but I mean, it's a given. You can kind of tell when going into a movie that there's going to be a part where, especially, if the main character is lying to people,
yeah,
and they're also main characters, and they're friends. You kind of know, and the main character isn't evil, so you kind of know there is going to be a part where, and then he feels bad, blah 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 blah. I won't talk about anything after that, but that's probably one of my favorite or one of my biggest problems with the movie. But
Yeah.
It comes with the plot, so
that makes sense.
yeah. Anyway, if we haven't talked about the plot, Koala, his theater's dying. He starts a singing competition to raise money. That's all you really need to know.
You can see that in trailers, so I don't feel like that's much of a spoiler.
Well, that's just a synopsis. I like it. I'd give it a solid. I think I'll stick with the 3 out of 5 or 3.4.
That's fair.
What do you think? How would you rate the movie?
Yeah.
Would you
probably
watch
about a
it?
7. Yeah,
Out of 5?
7 out of 10.
Well, I just rated it out of 5.
I like out of 10.
I see. Anyway. What about out of 100? We need a third person to do out of 100 because we just hit the other 2.
There's just one person and they're like rating out of
Hey!
like a million, and they're like, that's 1 out of 1 million.
So I hate that movie.
Every single movie ever. They're like, do you like this movie? No.
I hate that one.
The only movies they like are like really, really like
Star Wars
horrible
8.
movies.
Star Wars 8. I like the part where they ran out of gas.
Phantom Menace.
I liked how Palpatine shot everybody with his laser.
Jar Jar Binks is the best character ever made.
Misa want bad ratings. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for our last segment. There's no D&D segment that was covered up by Drew's Star
we
Wars.
could talk about D&D. Is there anything
Well, it's too
interesting
late.
that happened?
Well, no, that's also I was trying to cover it up.
Actually, there was one other thing.
Well, we don't care.
Did I tell you about my new D&D character?
What's his name?
It's
Make this quick. This isn't.
Lieutenant Tyran. And so he...
Sounds political.
It's not, but it has a. I found a. It was one of the subclasses for fighter. And
Yes.
Gunslinger.
That's not a real subclass.
I know, but it was on the site, and Cade said you can do it, and so I was like, awesome. So he gave me gun hands, and so now I can like turn my hand into a gun and shoot people. It's
Wow.
very cool.
Well, thank you for talking about that, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares.
You're welcome.
I'm just joking. I'm joking. You're just Mega Man now. Anyway, thank you guys. Sing, check it out. Star Wars, maybe not. And whatever I talked about, loot boxes. Check that out. Anyway, that was it today. We gave Drew more talking time than he will have in the future. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the interruption. He usually is designated to one spot to talk about his stuff, but I don't know. What was it, 5 minutes we said? 3 minutes that you usually get? But we're this improv. He ran out of bread, so,
Yeah.
we had to give him more time. Sorry, guys. I know you guys all fell asleep. Asleep. I'm just joking. Drew, we always love it when you come on and talk. I was joking.
I'm always here.
Anyway, this has been, what was it? Was it quick and short, or was it long and... Wait, no. What was the name of the podcast today? Your Star Wars thing made me forget.
Well,
I'm just
short
joking.
and whatever, that was the first take.
Shh, don't talk about that. What is this? What was it?
It was something else.
Improv. Okay, I'm imp and he's prov.
Okay.
Maybe we'll use that in the future. I don't know. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.